I'm going to start with the passport. So in your care box, you all should have received a passport. If you opened the inside of the lid of the care box, there should have been a clear plastic pocket with your passport stuck inside. The passport colors may look a little bit different, but the services that are available to you are the same. So with that, I'm going to share my screen and we can go through the passport together. It's a really good opportunity of us to just take a look at all the services that are available. If you have yours out, wonderful. If not, no worries at all. We can share and look at this screen. If I can move my screen, which happens to be just under the bar. There we go. All right. Here is our national passport. Again, color might look a little bit different. Same services available. I always like to start on the inside of the passport. You'll see these squares down the right-hand side, and the services that are on the inside of your passport can be used through using these squares. So what does that mean? We have three different pieces of our program: integrative therapies, whole food nutrition, and fitness. For our integrative therapies, we offer you access to fully funded therapies and services for meditation, yoga, Reiki, and counseling. We have a list of providers already put together for you. That link is on the left-hand side of your passport over here. If you're interested in using one of those services, you can go to the list of providers and reach out to them directly to schedule. After your service, they will invoice Unite for Her directly, so you have no out-of-pocket costs. One session with one of our providers will use just one square on your passport. So one counseling session will use one square, and then you will have 5 left to use on the inside of your passport. Next up, we have our whole food nutrition services, and I will let Michelle go into more detail about these later. But just in reference to the squares, we can offer you a gift card to the grocery store. We can get gift cards to all of the grocery stores across the United States, all the big ones, I should say. And one square will get you a $75 gift card to that grocery store. We also offer a meal delivery service through Sunbasket. So we can give you about 6 meals. There's 3 meals, 2 servings each. And one square will get you 1 week's worth of meals, or those 6 meals, and they're delivered right to your door. Lastly, in nutrition here, we have FarmBox Direct. This gets you 6 weeks of fresh vegetables. One update to note on the passport is that this is now 3 squares for 6 weeks of vegetables, no longer 2. You will receive information about that if you haven't already, and it is updated in our email communication. But should you choose to participate in those 6 weeks of vegetables, you can use 3 squares and get 6 weeks, again, delivered right to your door. Lastly, at the bottom here, we have fitness. So we partner with Stronger Through Cancer. They offer both live and recorded fitness classes. So it's a virtual membership. The founder is Priscilla Fitzpatrick. She is an amazing and dynamic woman. She's an exercise specialist. She had a cancer diagnosis herself. And it was through her experience and also through COVID that she decided to create this organization, Stronger Through Cancer. There are a ton of classes on there. She has a calendar available that you can see what's coming up, but I believe she has over 300 recorded classes as well. There is no need to purchase or invest in different equipment. All of the things that she does, you can do with what you have in your home, which is the best part about it as well. So if you wanted to participate in this, we would cover the cost of a 6-month membership, and that would use 3 squares on your passport. So what we always try to encourage our members to do is take a look at the services that we have available to you and choose what you would feel most supported by. If you're really struggling and you would like to speak with someone, by all means, please reach out to one of our counselors, and you can use your passport for that. If it would really benefit you to get those gift cards to the grocery store and it would help out just a little bit each month, we would encourage you to use it for that. You can also mix and match, so you don't have to use it for just one thing. But again, take a look at this, see what would be the most impactful for you, and that's how we want you to choose the services. On the bottom left-hand side here, you're going to see a passport expiration date. For all of our members who are on with us who have been diagnosed with either early stage breast cancer or ovarian cancer, this passport will expire within 1 year. Unfortunately, we're not able to offer extensions, so we do encourage you to use all of the squares within a year. If you need any help doing so, or you're just not sure which direction to go in as far as the services, please reach out to one of our staff members. We're more than happy to help you access any of the services. And for our members who are living with metastatic breast cancer or recurrent ovarian cancer, this language down here on the bottom left is going to say passport renewal date. And what that means is we will renew your services once every 6 months once you've used all these squares. So if you get through these 6 squares and it's been 6 months, you can reach out to us. We're going to mail you a new passport. You can start all over again with the services. And we will continue to do that for as long as you would like us to. You don't have to use all the services in 6 months. It won't expire at that point, but that is just the soonest that you will be able to renew. All right, I'm going to move on to the back of the passport. This is our all access pass. And what this means is you don't have to use any of the squares on your passport to use these services here. The virtual wellness retreat is what you are all participating in today. And that's really the first step into our program. So congratulations and welcome again. The personal nutrition consultation is with our registered dietitians. This is pretty much an ongoing, accessible service through our RDs. And it is a 30-minute phone call initially where they check in with you to learn more about any nutrition questions that you have, concerns, side effects that you might be experiencing, and to learn how they can support you through the use of nutrition. We also offer cooking webinars. So our registered dietitians do 48 cooking webinars a year. They change their menu every 2 months. So always some new menus and recipes coming through. Again, no squares to join. They're about an hour long. They're super fun. It's a very relaxed setting. You always learn something. You can always ask questions to them directly as well. If you can't hop on to any of them, we have them recorded, so you can always take a look at them later. Speaking of recordings, we've spent a lot of time building up our video library on our website at uniteforher.org/herlibrary. We have so many videos here. I would encourage, in Pennsylvania right now, we're looking at a rainy, gray day. If you have a rainy, gray day where you're stuck inside the house, you're just not feeling well to do anything else, make yourself a hot cup of tea, jump on Her Library and get some education, learn some cooking tips, learn about meditation and yoga, EFT tapping. There's also some fitness videos there as well. So I would encourage you to take a look there. In addition, all of our educational series that we do, including the cooking webinars, are put there after they're presented live. So if you happen again to miss one, you can always go back to Her Library to see what you've missed. Our educational series are abundant. We hold 3 per month. We do a speaker series, Ask the Experts, and a virtual hangout. Each of the formats are just a little bit different, but all covering topics that are relevant for those in our program. So I wanted to hop over to our events page really quickly. The last time I tried to switch tabs, my screen wasn't sharing. So Michelle, give me a thumbs up if you can see our events calendar page. Awesome. Okay. So this is our events calendar page when you go to our website. And you can scroll down and you can see all of our events that are occurring. I want the actual calendar and it doesn't look like it's showing up. You should be able to go here and you can see a literal calendar with all of our events listed. So you'll see, for example, a speaker series coming up on a Thursday evening. You can click there to register if it's something that you're interested in attending, but it also helps you plan ahead if you would like to see what we have up and coming. And these educational series cover topics like bone health, clinical trials, genetics versus genomics, medical marijuana, sexual health. Our virtual hangouts are very casual. We just did one about pet therapy, and one of our registered dietitians did a little cooking demonstration on healthy dog treats. So again, we do all of it. All of it's there. And if you have a suggestion for an educational series, we would love to hear from you about that as well. Lastly, we have Healthy Beauty with Jolene Hart. So we do offer some healthy beauty education. This is really just about empowering our members to learn more about what we're putting on our skin and in our bodies, and perhaps making different choices when you go to replace one of your beauty products or your shampoo or your body lotions. And we're not suggesting that you go in and wipe out your whole medicine cabinet full of your beauty products, but maybe they're just something that you use often every day, like your body lotion. And maybe next time you might go to make a different choice when you purchase one, or not, and that's okay. But this is just education that you have access to. So again, when you have some time, you can look at uniteforher.org/beauty. And in the meantime, in your care box, you should have received some full-size Acure beauty products. Acure beauty products are organic. They're one of our amazing partners at Unite for Her, and you also can receive a discount from Acure if you would like to purchase any of their products. And we also have a discount code for Anna Ono as well. So that is our passport. Those are all of our services that are available. If anybody has any questions at all about that or how to access, please put it in the chat. If you get off this wellness orientation and you think, I really want to order those farm box vegetables and I forget where to go, just reach out to one of us and we are more than happy to help you get access to any of those services. If along the way you forget how many squares you've used and you don't know and you're unsure if you can order that next service, reach out. We'll help you with that as well. If you are living with metastatic breast cancer or recurrent ovarian and you're not sure when you can renew or if you can renew, again, just reach out. We really want you to find us accessible to you, supportive to you. Know that we're always here and we'll help you either join into our events or access our services. If we don't offer a specific resource that you are looking for, we have tons of partners that we can help connect you with as well. So never hesitate to reach out. All right. I see a couple questions in the chat. I'm going to look at those really quickly. I understand the square concept, but how do I actually apply a square? So Maureen, those squares there are really just for you to keep track. So what happens is when we receive invoices in from either the providers or partners that we work with, we're going to internally note how many squares you've used for each service. So we keep track on our end. So really, if you want to access any services, you just go to the links directly to access or order them, or you can reach out to the provider directly. And then we keep track on our end when we receive the invoices. I hope that answered your question. Is there a way for a person outside of PA to use the passport squares for massage or Reiki? Okay, so in our national program, which is what everyone is in here at this event, we don't offer massage. We do offer Reiki, and it is done at a distance, so it's considered virtual Reiki. I know initially for us, it was really hard for us to understand that, but even our founder was like a little skeptical. She's like, I don't know if that works. She gave it a try and she definitely felt the results of it. So I would encourage you to try it. They are virtual sessions. And if you have any questions, our providers are always available to answer questions. So you can call them and talk to them about it without using a square or a session. Nikki, we will pop the Sunbasket link into the email. It's actually uniteforher.org/Sunbasket. So don't email Sunbasket directly. The reason why we want you to go through us for that order is so that we, again, can keep track of who is ordering what so that we can receive the invoices in and mark off the squares. Can I fill out the information for an elderly aunt who, yes, 100%, Linda, you're more than welcome to do that. No problem at all. Okay, and Michelle just popped in the link for Sunbasket if you want to double check that. Wonderful questions. This is excellent. I love all these questions. All right, so next up, what we are going to take a look at is a video offering you some additional information on 3 of the services that we provide, and that is yoga, counseling, and Reiki. So I'm going to share my screen again, and we're going to take a look at that video together.
Hi, my name is Allison Donnelly. I am a yoga instructor. I've been teaching yoga for over 40 years. I'm an ERYT 500 and continuing yoga education provider for Yoga Alliance. I am here to share meditation with you, and today's meditation will be just a basics, an intro to meditation for those of you maybe who have never meditated or are kind of new to it. So thank you for joining me today. Meditation 101. So meditation, again, means conscious awareness. And what we're going to do today is a very simple way of being consciously aware. We're going to sit with our breath. So I invite you to sit up super tall. I'm going to scooch forward on this chair, and I'm also, because it's nice and soft, going to take a cushion, and I invite you to do the same thing at home, to elevate your hip and pelvic area so that your knees can drop down below your navel line. That is a much easier way for your hip and pelvis to sit in neutral. Now I invite you to bring your fingers to your shoulders and take a little half of an elbow circle, and that just kind of gets your scapulas, your shoulder blades to stabilize back there. And let's bring our hands lightly in our lap, and go ahead and gently close your eyes if you're comfortable to do so. Now lifting your heart and feeling the heart as it lifts, creating this spaciousness in the chest, creating a relaxation around the neck and shoulders. When you lift your heart, your head tends to pull back where it belongs. And I refer to this as human Jenga a lot. So the head block is stacked beautifully over the shoulders block, which is stacked beautifully over the hip and pelvic block. So feeling the heart lifting, the spaciousness in the chest and shoulders, the head kind of floating nicely above the chest and shoulders. Take a moment to just notice where you feel your natural breath. Some people feel it the best in their nostrils, and some people feel it best in the belly, rising and falling. So I invite you to take an inward dive in there, and let's do a little experiment. So sitting with your breath, just noticing where you best feel it. Let's all try to feel our breath at our nostrils, just for a moment. Can you feel that beautiful ebb and flow of natural breath? Don't try to do anything to change it yet. Right at the nostrils. And you may even feel some intricate things, such as the breath sweeping along the fulcrum, that space between your upper lip and your nostrils. Okay, now pause for a moment, keep breathing naturally, but let's focus our attention on the movement of our belly, the rising and falling of the belly with natural breath. So go ahead again, I invite you to close your eyes softly. Keep your heart lifting up like it is a lotus flower that is fully blooming. Chest is open, head is beautifully balanced over the shoulders and hip and pelvis. Okay, bringing your awareness to your natural breath at your belly. Feel any movement you feel, any felt sensation in the lungs, in the lower back, and in that gentle movement of your belly with your natural breath. I invite you now to just gently open your eyes and check in. The concept of meditation is really simple. Practically speaking, it's very difficult. So, if in that short meditation with breath, just sitting with our breath, your mind went back in the past, it went ahead to the future a number of times, you're normal. That is so normal and common. What we want it to not be eventually is a common thing for you. And so I invite you to join me for meditations, and I thank you for your effort in this very first one, Meditation 101, sitting with our breath. I hope you practice.
Hi, I'm Sarah Murphy, licensed professional counselor. I want to tell you a little bit about how counseling can really help when you're going through your journey of cancer. In my experience, and I've been in the Unite for Her provider network since 2013, I found that people come at kind of 4 different stages, and the needs are different depending on what stage. So sometimes people come after the initial diagnosis when there's that real sense of crisis, and counseling can provide you a good place to process some of your feelings. From time to time, people will work with a counselor while they're in active treatment, and there are some real benefits to doing that. However, there's a lot going on, and sometimes there's just no bandwidth to add one more thing. With our virtual therapy, it's becoming more accessible, though. Most often in my experience, people tend to come to see me when they're finished with treatment, and there's kind of that feeling of, oh my gosh, what just happened? How am I gonna make sense of this, create meaning of this, create my life in a new and better way after this transformative experience? Then there are those who are experiencing metastatic disease or recurrence, in which case the system is different, and counseling is a great, I think, a great resource to kind of partner and walk with you by your side. In addition to the 4 stages of counseling, I want to just review the 4 different mental health diagnoses and kind of take it with a little bit of a grain of salt. We know that having cancer creates a lot of emotional distress. I'm not such a fan of the diagnosis model of everything is a disorder in the world of mental health, but for what it's worth, most of the time we can say this is an adjustment disorder. You've got some situation in life, could be anything, cancer definitely qualifies, that we're just having trouble adjusting to, and having a therapist is helpful. Then there are studies that show that depression is rampant among people who have cancer. Depending on the study you look at, it's between 25% to even 70% of people with cancer or women with breast cancer have depression. Anxiety obviously is also really common. Statistics are half or more than half rise to the level of clinical significance with anxiety. And mental health counseling can help with all of those. Finally, there's that rarer subset of people who develop PTSD kind of symptoms, that's post-traumatic stress disorder type of symptoms. And that mostly is an indication that there's some previous trauma that hasn't been healed, that's kind of diverting our resilience and making it harder to go through the next succeeding traumatic experience. Luckily, we've learned a lot within the last 10 or 20 years about how to address trauma. We're learning that body-based techniques are really helpful, and so more and more therapists are using things like EMDR, what I use, energy psychology with tapping and different somatic or body-based techniques to really help discharge this pent-up emotion. So in closing, I want to say that all of the Unite for Her therapies are designed to help you achieve post-traumatic growth. There's no getting around the fact that cancer is a traumatic experience, but we can take that trauma and grow and become better and have better lives. And that's what we're here to support you in doing. You can use your passport to get counseling, as well as the other modalities that Unite for Her offers. I'm one of the local network of about 24 counseling providers, and you can check our provider list to see who else can help.
Our bodies are these amazing, complex, interdependent organisms. Our bodies want to be well, and they want to be in balance. And Reiki really helps to relax and stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system, that rest and digest phase. We are energetic beings. Every single cell in our body produces energy. And oncology care, whether it be chemotherapy, radiation, surgery, or medications, affects our entire body overall, right down to the cellular level. And just like we can become vitamin D, iron, or B12 deficient, we can become energy deficient. So allow me to introduce you to Reiki and help you understand the benefits and tell you how you can tap into a session right in the comforts of your own home. So Reiki is a Japanese word for universal life force energy. In Chinese medicine, we call it Qi, and in yoga, we call it prana. Your body operates optimally when your energy flow is strong from head to toe and it's balanced, all the energy centers are stimulated, and that there are no blockages or stagnation. Reiki also acknowledges the mind, body, spirit connection. And we understand how our thoughts and our mind can drive our responses and our emotions, and how that impacts the body, sometimes through symptoms and illness. Reiki sessions calm the mind, they strengthen and balance your energy centers and energy flow, and they work to facilitate and expedite the healing process. Would you like to feel better in your body? And what would that look like for you? Would you feel relaxed, stress hormones slowing? Would you feel more confident and not anxious? Wouldn't it be nice to wake up in the morning and feel completely rested after a deep night's sleep? Would you feel more energized, less fatigued, not experiencing the side effect of nausea or mental fog? How about calm, clarity? So think about how those benefits could impact your quality of life as you go through oncology cancer care. Because Reiki is non-invasive and has absolutely no contraindications or side effects, we can treat you virtually anytime and anywhere. And Reiki practitioners are trained to do distance work. So during this time of social distancing, you can still receive the benefits of a full Reiki treatment as if you were in the office, but you're at home. After my clients, I set the intention, because we've talked about how you were feeling emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually. We set the intention for the practice. And I tell them that I welcome you to fall asleep, and snores and gurgles are a great sign of the parasympathetic nervous system response kicking into gear. And trust me, at the end of the session, they're asking me to cancel my day because they're so relaxed and they don't want to get off the table. So reach out today to a Reiki practitioner and find out how you can get Reiki treatment. Thank you, and be well.
All right, so you just heard from, let's see, we had Allison Donley. She has been with us since the start of Unite for Her. In fact, our founder often talks about the benefits that she experienced through meditation, specifically the power of breath and yoga. And it was Allison who she practiced with. And Allison is available to anyone that would like to schedule some time with her. You also heard from Sarah Murphy. She's one of our licensed counselors. She is also available. She may not be licensed in your state, but we do have licensed counselors available in all states. So if you take a look at our provider list, if that's a service you're interested in, you can find counselors licensed in your state. And then lastly, you heard from Rhonda Crary. She is one of our Reiki practitioners. She is available to do distance Reiki for anyone who is on today and within our national program. Next up, I would like to move along to nutrition. And we have one of our registered dietitians, as I mentioned at the start, Michelle D. Christopher, with us. I'm going to spotlight her. She's going to share more about our nutrition services and our philosophy.
Thank you, Nina. And if it's okay, I'd like to comment on what Tracy posted in the chat. Excuse me. And I'm so glad you brought that up because I actually had that conversation with Sarah a couple years ago about traditional cognitive behavioral therapy. And then what she practices is giving techniques. It's like we all know what we're going through and we might even know the why. But Sarah gives you techniques to deal with that. So it could be tapping and, different types of meditation. So hopefully that answers your question. So, and if you are not able to work with Sarah directly, our other providers, and that's what Nina meant by just ask them, what type of counseling do you practice? This is what I'm looking for. So all of the Unite for Her providers, they are open to any questions before you start the service and use your square. So glad you brought that up, Tracy. So anyway, I'm going to talk about nutrition now. Nina's like, let's go. So anyway, yes, I'm one of the senior culinary dietitians. There are 4 dietitians on the team. And what I'm going to do is just take a deeper dive into our Passport services. So I will share my screen here. Okay, so this is our Nutrition at Home page. Right here is our our Director of Culinary Nutrition and Education, Erin Pellegrin. So it's really important that you watch this video. It'll give you an idea of our mission and philosophy in regards to nutrition. And then when you scroll down, you will see all of our nutrition options. Here is the 30-minute nutrition consultation Nina was referring to, and this is for no squares on your passport. So what is a nutrition consultation? It is whatever you want it to be. We do not have an agenda. We do not tell you what to eat, what not to eat. It's whatever you would like to talk about. So it might be, how do I navigate through some of my side effects, nausea, constipation, diarrhea, mouth sores? How do I incorporate more fruits and vegetables into my diet? I have a family with some choosy eaters. How do I make a meal for all of us so I'm not cooking 2 meals? So those are some of the things that we can talk about. I highly encourage you to schedule a consultation. You are more than welcome to schedule as many consultations as you'd like. Moving on to our $75 grocery store gift card. This is for 1 square on your passport. And for both the nutrition consultation and the gift card, we use an online scheduling system called Calendly. So when I open up this calendar, it looks the same as the nutrition consultation calendar. So if you're interested in receiving a $75 grocery store gift card, over here to the left, we have all of the grocery stores to choose from. So if you were looking for Albertsons or Kroger, Aldi, Trader Joe's, you would select that as you're making the appointment. And if you notice over here on the calendar, we have some light blue squares, or excuse me, circles. And wherever these circles are, that means an appointment is available. So you click on that. There are all the times that are available. You choose a time. You enter your first and last name, your email. All of this information is required. And it is a 20-minute appointment. So depending on the day and the time that you selected, you will be thrown to one of us dietitians. We will call you at the time of the appointment. And again, it is an opportunity to ask any questions about the gift card. Maybe it's, I typically buy these type of crackers. Can you recommend a healthy upgrade? Or I'm a little bit in a rut when I'm in this aisle. Can you make any recommendations? Even if you want to open up your pantry, and we can talk a little bit about that. So in addition to the gift card, we're available to answer any questions that you may have. Next, we have a nutrition support group. This is very new to our nutrition program. We had the pilot program in the summertime, and it went very well. So it's a small group forum, about 20 members, and it's just like this. We're on a Zoom call, and it's a great opportunity in an intimate session to share maybe some of your challenges of getting more plants into your diet. You'll have little homework assignments every week. There's a beautiful workbook. And then each week you come back and you talk about your wins and maybe some things you had challenges with. So if that's something you're looking for, great option. It's 1 square on your passport. The next session, I believe, will be starting in January or February. So you will be seeing emails about that, and you're more than welcome to register. Next, we have a 6-week vegetable share by FarmBox. So FarmBox is a national company. This is for 3 squares on your passport. So if you choose to sign up, once a week for 6 weeks, you will receive a box of vegetables delivered to your door. There are about 7 to 8 vegetables in the box, along with a beautiful magazine with different dietitian approved recipes and some great articles. It's a great program if you're looking to get more vegetables into your diet. So if they're showing up at your front door, you're more apt to use them, right? So again, 3 squares on your passport, and that is for all 6 weeks. There is a sign up button right here. I am also available to help you, farmbox@uniteforher.org if you have specific questions. So once you open up the page, the order form will be right here, and you'll just click right through and input all of your information. I do send a lot of reminder emails about when the session is starting, a lot of information, but I'm always here to answer questions that I may not have given you information for in my emails. All right, and 2 more. This next one is Sunbasket, which Nina talked a little bit about. So again, it's 1 box of 3 meals that serve 3 to 2 people. And this is for 1 square on your passport. So when you go to register for this, if you scroll down, you will see the meals that are chosen for you. If you do not think you would like Thai turkey lettuce cups, that's okay. Close up the link, open it again on Monday, and there will be a new menu for you. So if you were to order this by this Sunday, the meals would come not next week, but the week after. So there's always a week delay. So if you choose to order, you will get Thai turkey lettuce cups, braised chickpeas and carrots with quinoa, yogurt, and almonds, chicken mole verde, which I just butchered the way I said that. I'm sure there's a better way to say it, with red rice, sweet peas, and pumpkin seeds. Now, if you notice, it says fresh and ready, which means it is completely cooked, and you would just pop it in the microwave or the oven, and you're good to go. This says meal kit, which means you're probably doing some assembly. There might be some herbs and spices and maybe an oil to mix together, but everything, all the ingredients are there. There might be an animal protein, so you might have to cook that, but it's nothing too difficult. These meals are great if you know you have a busy week coming up, or if you were going through treatment or ongoing treatment and you know the days you're not feeling well, at least you'll have a healthy meal prepared for you. And I also like to get ideas with these. So Thai turkey lettuce cups, I might think, you know what, I can make these, but maybe next time I'll put shrimp in them. So it's a great program. The food is delicious. Last but not least, we have our cooking demos. So those are for no squares on your passport. And we change our theme every 2 months. We just started the November-December sessions. My theme is pumpkins. It's called Pumpkin Spice and Everything Nice. And all my recipes have pumpkin as the ingredients. Our meals are simple. We don't pick recipes or create recipes with a long list of ingredients. We want to try to get you back in the kitchen, be successful in the kitchen. Aubrey, one of the other senior culinary dietitians, her theme is going nuts. So I believe she's doing a fish that's coated in nuts. And then her other recipes will have nuts in them, of course. So they're a lot of fun. It is just like this. It's Zoom. We Zoom you into our kitchen virtually, and you can sit back and relax and watch us prepare meals. And you also have the option to cook along if you would like. So those are our nutrition options. Again, I know I went through that quickly. We are here to answer your questions. Nina, just refresh my memory on how much more time I have, if any time.
You have at least another 10, 15 minutes. You're good.
Excellent. Okay, great. So I'm going to share my screen again. All right. So I'm excited to talk to you about our nutrition mission and philosophy here at Unite for Her. And as I go through this presentation, please know again that this is your eating plan or how you eat or your lifestyle. It is tailored to you. Everyone has a different approach to eating, and we acknowledge that. I probably said this before, but I don't ever want anyone to tell me what to eat or what not to eat. So keep in mind that as I go through this, these are merely suggestions. And doing that nutrition consult will help us fine tune something that will work for you. So our mission is to consume a whole food, plant-forward diet. That does not mean go vegan or vegetarian. It means shifting your plate a little bit to include more plants. So that's what we mean by plant forward. Whole foods doesn't mean having an apple or a carrot. What that means are finding ingredients that are closest to their true form. So if you notice when you go to the grocery store and maybe you pick out a dressing, there could be a lot of ingredients in there. Is that bad? No, not at all. But think about maybe I could make that at home with some oil, vinegar, herbs, spices, a little bit of mustard. So that's what we mean when we talk about whole foods. But you might think, well, what are plant foods? Is that just fruits and vegetables? No, fruits, vegetables, beans, nuts, seeds, whole grains, herbs, and spices. So this is a pretty large category. And fruits and vegetables, of course, if I'm doing a presentation, I'm going to start with fruits and vegetables, right? Ever since we were little, we heard eat the rainbow. I'm the type of person that needs to know, well, why do I need to eat the rainbow? Why do I need to eat my fruits and vegetables? So I'm here to tell you why. If you notice in the heart with all the fruits and vegetables, there's different colors. Each of those colors represents a different phytonutrient or plant chemical. Phyto means plant. So let's take the reds, the blues, the purples, for example. Those colors represent antioxidants. And you might think, well, what's an antioxidant? I hear that word tossed around a lot. In our body, we always have, no matter how healthy that we are, or no matter how healthy we are, there will always be free radicals around our body, which can do damage to our DNA, to our cells. So we need antioxidants to help fight the free radicals, to help reduce the risk of any type of chronic disease. So anthocyanins are the antioxidants in these red, purple, and blue vegetables. So including them in your diet, you are boosting your immune system. Also in regards to fruits and vegetables, fresh, frozen, and canned. One of the most popular questions that we get is it okay to eat frozen foods? Or I heard that canned vegetables are bad. None of these forms of fruits and vegetables are bad. Whatever way that it's going to get you, or the easiest way to get your vegetables, or the way that you like to eat your vegetables, that's great. That's what you need to do. So frozen vegetables are frozen right at their peak, right when they're picked. So they are extremely nutrient dense. So vegetables, also frozen fruits and vegetables, they go on sale. You know, a lot of vegetables, you see 10 bags for $10. They're great freezer staples. Pull them out in the middle of the week, defrost them or roast them. It's a great item to always have on hand. The frozen fruits, great to throw into a smoothie. I like to defrost my frozen cherries and top my yogurt with them so it turns into a syrup. Delicious. Canned vegetables over the years have received a bad rap. This morning, in case you were watching the Today Show, their resident dietitian was talking about how canned vegetables are not bad for you. Now, I think the concern comes in with the sodium content. So if you are buying canned vegetables, look for no sodium, low sodium, Or you can take those vegetables, drain them, give them a good rinse, and you're removing about 20% of the sodium in that canned vegetables. So again, canned vegetables go on sale. They are a great convenience item and a great pantry staple. If you choose to buy canned fruit, just make sure that they are packed in their own juice, in water, and not a heavy syrup. So hopefully those little tips will help you, and that will enable you to have a wide variety of fruits and vegetables in your house. Okay, so let's talk about protein. When you hear the word protein, you think meat, fish, dairy, poultry, and eggs. Yes, those are all the animal proteins, but there's also plant proteins as well. Pulses is a big category that includes beans, lentils, and peas, and nuts and seeds. So the nice thing about nuts and seeds, they also have some healthy fats in them as well. So we get asked a lot about including more protein into, am I getting enough protein? Do I include enough protein? You probably get more protein in your diet than you really think you do. But if you're looking to move away from animal protein and getting more plant protein, this is the way to do it. So if you think about your plate, maybe when you grew up, it was what's for dinner? Pork chops. What's for dinner? Chicken. Well, now we're taking that animal protein and maybe making it more of a side dish, or instead of a whole chicken breast, maybe having half or a third of a chicken breast. That way there's more room on your plate to fill it up with these plant foods. And then right here you have your protein. The beans, lentils, and peas, so versatile, inexpensive. You can buy them canned or dried. Again, if you buy canned beans, just give them a good rinse to get some of that sodium removed. So nuts, cashews, walnuts, almonds, the sky is the limit. Maybe right here again, a low or no sodium. And seeds. When we talk about seeds, we don't just mean sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds. Hopefully you've worked with chia, flax, or hemp seeds. These tiny little seeds, for just 1 to 2 tablespoons, have 5 to 6 grams of protein. Might not sound like a lot, but for 1 to 2 tablespoons, that's a lot. If you incorporate hemp seeds into your diet, that jumps you up to 13 grams of protein. Throw these on your yogurt, your oatmeal, your smoothies. You can bake with them. So if you have questions about chia, flax, and hemp seeds, this is a good conversation to bring up on a nutrition consult. So whether you're choosing animal proteins or plant proteins, the reason why we promote protein is because it helps build new healthy tissue, repair tissue that may have been damaged through any type of treatment. It helps build new cartilage, helps build bones, muscles. So protein is very important to our bodies. Whole grains. This is one of the roads less traveled. When we think of whole grains, we think of whole grain bread, brown rice. There are so many other foods to incorporate to expand your palate. So oats is on here. That's a popular grain, but quinoa, amaranth, farro, teff, rye. We have plenty of resources on how to cook these grains and how you can incorporate them into your diet, give you some recipe ideas. Healthy fats. So we need these healthy fats for vitamin absorption, omega-3s, which can help fight inflammation. They protect our organs. So avocados, those seeds that I was just mentioning, oils, nuts, and salmon as well is a great source of omega-3s. And these are the foods that can keep you fuller longer. Herbs and spices, the original medicine, right? Fresh herbs, dried herbs, whichever you prefer. These are nutrition powerhouses, gram for gram. They pack as much nutrition as any of the other foods that I've mentioned here. On page 29 of your Cancer Fighting Kitchen Cookbook starts an 8-page index of all different types of herbs, spices, and foods, and how you can add them to your diet. We are not asking you to change your diet completely. We are asking you to start adding all of the foods that I mentioned to your diet. So if you're having a smoothie, throw some turmeric in there. If you are having your oatmeal, if you have that every morning, add some cinnamon. If you're having eggs, add some parsley. So no one wants to completely clear out their pantry, their refrigerator, or their freezer. If you are having any issues with some taste changes, use these herbs and spices to bring out the color in foods. This adds color and brings out different flavor profiles. Before I wrap this up, I just want to pass along some things to think about. First off, make sure you read the first 40 pages of the Cancer Fighting Kitchen Cookbook. There is also a concept in there called FAST, fat, acid, sweet, and salt. So if you are experiencing taste changes, they will give you some ideas of how to enhance the flavor. So if you are having say you're having some meat and there's just no taste to meat, maybe adding an acid like a marinade with some vinegar that can help bring the flavor out. So use that valuable resource that was sent to you in your care box. All right, eat what you enjoy. Please don't eat broccoli because it's healthy and you don't like it, or salmon. We know it's healthy, but you have to enjoy your food. So whichever way that you enjoy, whatever you like it, maybe it's just adding something that I've mentioned to it to boost the nutritional value. That's the way to do it. Now, if we think about some highly processed foods with added sugar and sodium, those are some things that maybe we need to pull back on a little bit, but you don't have to give up the foods that you enjoy. Plan ahead. I don't mean full on meal prepping. You take a Saturday to go shopping and you're chopping and you're cleaning. If you do that, you are awesome and you are my hero. Not everyone has that time. I wish I had that time, or maybe it's just laziness on my part, but I try to think of what I can do. So maybe it's just cooking up a grain for the week so I can throw it in a salad or a soup, or eat it with, add some beans to it. Cut up some fresh vegetables, even if it's only opening a can of beans, rinsing it, and then I have it ready to go in the refrigerator. So that's what we mean by plan ahead. Cook more. If we're in our kitchen cooking, then we are able to control the ingredients, the sodium, the sweetness, and that's what we are here to help you with our cooking demos and our nutrition consults. Set small goals. We've all been there. Monday morning, we're like, okay, I'm going to try 3 new recipes this week. I'm going to have a vegetable with every meal. I'm going to drink 100 ounces of water. I'm going to exercise every day. And by Tuesday afternoon, we're like, oh my gosh, this is awful. So that's not the way to do it. We know how that turns out. So set small goals. Maybe the first week, I'm going to add 8 more ounces of water. Once you're good with that, then try the next goal. So that's the best way to approach this. Add plant foods to what you're already eating. So hopefully I gave you some good advice there, some good examples or ideas. And last but not least, let us help. We are here for you. Here is your culinary dietitian team. Anything that you need, we'll be happy to help you. And please lean on us anytime that you need us. Call, email, text. We are here for you. And thank you for your attention. Nina, back to you.
I'm on mute still. Thank you, Michelle. That was our short and sweet version of our 2-hour wellness orientation. I hope that you were able to get some information that was helpful to you, get a better understanding of how to use your passport, take some nuggets of information with you after this event, and maybe create some changes in your lifestyle moving forward that you can carry with you. We keep saying it, but we truly mean it. We are here for you. And whether that means you have a question about your passport, looking for additional resources, or just need some support, Unite for Her is here. We encourage you to use your passport. We really encourage you to check out our events. Again, they're free, meaning you don't have to use any squares to participate in them. We have them 3 times a month, so there's always something going on. They're each about an hour long, just like this, and they're always educational. Some are fun too. With that, I'm going to wrap up the meeting. If anybody has any questions at all, please put them in the chat. We had some great, wonderful questions today. I thank you all for joining and participating. If you can think of anything else now, feel free to put it in the chat or take yourself off mute and let us know. All right. I don't see any questions. I think that means I hope everybody understood what was going on with our passport and services. Laura, this is the first one that we were doing, as I mentioned, and we did record it. So we can put that somewhere. We also have other recordings of the longer versions of this as well. So when we do a follow-up email, you're going to get the longer version. But once this short version becomes available, we can send it out to you all as well in case you missed something. Thank you, Angela. Thanks, Rosemary. Wonderful. Oh, thank you, Tracy. Thanks so much, Linda. Thanks, Laura. Thanks, Asia. Yep, Lisa. So there's going to be a follow-up email that probably comes out early next week. It's going to include a PDF and also contents in the email. So there'll be a couple links, to the things that we shared, like the nutrition services and the provider list. And in addition, we have a longer recording that you can view as well. And then we'll follow up that with this shorter version recording too. Thank you, Maureen. All right. If nobody has anything else, I'm going to wrap up the meeting and end. But if you think of anything later, please reach out to us. I hope everybody has a restful afternoon. I hope that you enjoy yourselves over the weekend, and we look forward to connecting in the future. Thanks, everyone.